Okay, today I want to talk to you about how we're using Grafana, which is an open source data visualization platform, to view the results and data streamed wirelessly from our environmental sensors. Okay, so what's it all about? So what we've got here is some dashboards that we've set up, and within the business there are sensors set up in strategic locations. Each dashboard represents a location of a sensor. So if I click on one of these, let's go for drill area, the first one on the list, we can now see all the data that's been captured from our environmental sensor there. So you can look at different durations of time. You can go back over last 12 hours, 24 hours, or even 7 days or 30 days. You can pick how long you want to look over, and you can spot trends in the data. You can see when people have come in at the weekends. You can see when your air quality spiked. So this is dust we're looking at here, PM 2.5 and PM 10. If I hover the mouse over a key point, it will pick up the individual samples at that time location. So you can see what the levels were like. We're looking at light, temperature, humidity, dust and sound on this particular dashboard. If I just go back to the dashboards, let's look at a different one. Let's look at a welding bay, which we know is going to be poor in terms of air quality. The guys doing the welding operations are wearing respirators, so there's no concerns there. But you can see trends in terms of air quality. So if I just go back 7 days, you can see where operations are happening on the shop floor and the air quality is spiking. We've got visible light during the day. At night it falls off, as you'd expect. Temperature and humidity are going up and down, as you'd expect, but all of this is very interesting. It can tell us some really useful things about the business operation and the performance of the local environment. We can identify room for improvement, etc. If we look at water meter, let's have a look at water meter. This is in a dark area of the business, so the visible light's very poor. It's almost in a closet, so that it's not really worth looking at the light output. But really, this one was just installed to monitor water flow. We've got a turbine meter connected to our smart meter, measuring consumption of water. You can see that accumulating and going up on a daily basis. It's amazing how much you use in a business in terms of utilities. If I just go back one, let's have a look at another one. Let's go to electricity. So what we've got here is a smart meter, which is a little DIN panelled off-the-shelf smart meter connected over Modbus to our OpenSmartMonitor sensor. We're collecting the electricity data over the Modbus comms and then sending it wirelessly to a server, and that's what you see here. So it's very interesting. You can look at power factor, current voltage profiles, and then of course your input energy on a daily basis or a weekly basis. If I click and drag the mouse, you can zoom right in to a key aspect of the time window there. If you want to look at individual samples, you can just keep zooming in. So it's very, very powerful. This is all open source. You can also set up alerts here, so you can set up rules. So we've got one here for temperature. So if the temperature falls below, let's say the HSE regulations for being too cold in the workplace, so we've got it set to 16 in this example, and you can see the threshold there at 16 degrees. You can then say to send an email to the manager in that workplace or the MD and say, look, the temperature is too low, it's below the legal limit, and that person can do something about it, or maybe they can't. But you kind of get the idea. So you can set up lots of alerts and alarms on different parameters. You can do SMS, email notifications. It's really very, very flexible. Behind the scenes, we're using InfluxDB to store the data in a database, and then Grafana to actually display it on the screen. That's all I wanted to say really on this video, but just to give you a whistle-stop tour of what it can do.